everybody. This is Joe from Cycle Life Studio and OutRival Racing. Today with a Dryland workout that will incorporate some stretch cords and some strength work. Mostly focused on easy cord pulls and more shorter core work for a shorter workout overall. So it'll be 3 times through. 2 we'll do on the video today, but the workout will be 3 times through of 1 minute easy pull, 1 minute rest, 2 minute easy pull, 1 minute rest into a 30-second flutter kick, and then a 60-second plank, okay, with a short rest in between those as well. So we'll start with the pulls. The pulls we're going to mix through half pulls, single arm half pulls where we're coming perpendicular, right, or parallel rather, with the elbow and shoulder. And then we'll do some single arm full pulls with your hand getting back to the hip. And we'll do some double pulls as well so we can work on the symmetry of our left and right arm. We'll start with easier on the first one, especially the first time through. We'll just do some half pulls to get the arms loosened up. You should always try to get the shoulder mobility working a little bit, everything in the upper body going before we start with the pulls. Make sure we have a nice wide stance in our base, kind of the feet being shoulder width apart, and we'll get going. So we'll start again, 1 minute easy. Again, using half pulls to start. We might go into some full pulls in this first minute. Get that base nice and wide, and go. Again, our focus is our early vertical forearm, so our elbow is trying to stay high. We're recovering low through. About 30 more seconds. Might switch to some full pulls here in a sec. Single arm still. Couple more pulls. Being good. So that's 1 minute down. 1 minute rest. So on the 2 minute easy, we'll again probably start with the half pulls, go to some single arm full pulls, and we'll do some double pulls. On the double pull, you're trying to be as symmetric as you can, right? Because you want a similar pull on each side, so you're more stable, more streamlined in your swim stroke. Okay, and then obviously on the pull, you're focusing on the forearm here being your paddle, right? Not just the hand pushing down or pulling through. We want our forearm to pull through, okay? Get that base nice and wide. Again, we'll start with half pulls and go. Again, this should be an easier workout, so if this speed that I'm doing is tiring you out, just slow it down. Nice easy recovery. Then start to mix in some, or start to merge into a more full pull. Don't pull too far. Don't pull more than you would potentially in a normal stroke. in the last 30 seconds here, we will switch to a double pull. And one more. Okay. Now we'll do a little core work on the flutter kick. So we're gonna go seated. If you can, you'll go hands underneath your bum. And then the flutter kick, you want your legs to be just above the ground, maybe 3 to 6 inches. And then you're simply kicking, right? So it's gonna really challenge you to tighten the core muscles in your stomach. You probably feel a little shaking. What I usually do is I try to count to 30 by doing one leg of each kick. So it's like 30 full times through the 2 sets of kicks, okay? Especially if you can't see your watch because it's underneath you. All right. We'll go in 2, 1, and go. And good. Now we'll flip over. On the plank here, we're going to try to put elbows and feet kind of as the width of your body, so not too wide on the hips, not too wide on the shoulders. Arms should be beneath you, right? We're going to hold for 60 seconds on it. Make sure you breathe. You're going to feel a lot of, if this is your first or an earlier time for you to do core, or 60 seconds is long for you, you're going to feel some shaking sensation. Breathe. Just breathe. Deep breaths into the stomach, deep breaths out. And we'll go in 10 seconds or so here. All right, 2, 1, and plank. You're trying to have your back flat as well in this. Thirty more seconds. Ten seconds. 2, 1, and down. And that's one set. So we'll now go back to our chords. Go 1 minute easy again. I like to always, especially on the easier sets, I like to start with the half pull. It really makes you focus on that earlier vertical forearm without having to worry about the finish. It's a little less strenuous on the arms too. And it really helps to reinforce that we want that early vertical forearm to happen. All right? So again, 1 minute easy, 1 minute rest, 2 easy, 1 minute rest back to our core, and then the third one you can do on your own. We'll go in 2, 1, and go. Take your time with these. Start to transition into some pole pulls. Not too far. Feel some back tightness. Look at their feet. Make sure your base is nice and wide. Not too wide, but shoulder width apart. And one more pull. All right, 1 minute easy. A 2 minute pull coming up. Back to the core, and then you're done. So on the 2 minute, now that's the last one, maybe you would go a little bit quicker, even though the workout calls for easy. Rather than going quicker, maybe you challenge yourself with more time spent on the double pull or the single arm full pull. If you're feeling a lot more comfortable, especially with the half pulls, you're really getting that your forearm as the paddle. So mix and match as you see fit. Again, I always like to start with the half pull, but maybe I'll transition earlier into the full arm pull. And here we go. Do some single arm full pulls. Some double pulls. About 10 more seconds. Good. Back to the flutter kicks. Flutter kicks. Again, hands on your butt. If it's too challenging with the hands on the butt or underneath the butt, put it to the side. Really challenging your stomach muscles. And here we go. That's good. Flip over to do our 60-second plank. And the last one you'll do on your own. Remember some nice deep breaths here on the plank. 2, 1, go. 1 minute. Seconds. Remember to breathe. Ten seconds. 2, 1, and down. There you have it. You would do one more set if you're following this workout along. And yeah, maybe progress into more double pulls or single arm full pulls, make it a little bit more challenging. You know, as you progress through these workouts, you maybe add a fourth set if it's not, if you want to challenge yourself even more. So good work, and we will see you next time. Thanks.